Okay, sit. Excuse me. I'd like to call this meeting, the Clay County Commission, to order. We will begin this evening with our invocation. Ms. Leeming, if you could come forward and lead us in prayer.
I'm going to change this up a little bit tonight as we get ready to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence. And I'm going to read the first part of the Declaration of Independence, and hopefully we're all re-inspired to go forward with more patriotism and more love for our community because of this great document. In Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the great separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for our founding fathers. I thank you for the wisdom, insight that they had, and I ask you to bless the commissioners with that same kind of insight and wisdom to lead us in Clay County. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Nolte?
Here.
Commissioner Withington?
Here.
Commissioner Lawson?
Here.
Commissioner Wagner?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Thompson?
Here.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Here.
With that, we will go to approval of the agenda. Commissioner Johnson?
Move to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion has been made for the approval of this evening's agenda. Discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. That brings us to ceremonial matters. Mr. Administrator, we have three, the first one being 2026-181.
Yes, 2026-181, honorary resolution for vocational services for 60th anniversary with Commissioner Nolte as the head.
The 60th anniversary is quite a big deal. I don't know that there's anyone here this evening. I will certainly reach out to them. But vocational services is an organization that has provided dignified employment for persons with developmental disabilities and gives them a reason. When you interact with the folks who work there, and I've been there any number of times, you really understand what it means for the people in that situation to experience the dignity of hard work and earning a paycheck. And when you talk to them, when you observe them, you can see that these persons are exactly what they seem, and that is entirely dedicated. They work hard, and they are among the most reliable people as far as employees go. And it gives meaning to their lives. A lot of us kind of can sort of take for granted what our occupations are. You know, even of the most interesting of occupations, they can become mundane, they can become a little bit day in and day out sort of routine. But for the persons working at these at the vocational services, these are people who show up every day cheerful, they show up enthusiastic, and they are happy to be part of a program. And it's an honor to be able to interact with them. So many of them are members of our community that we have the opportunity to work with. And it also gives them something that is important with people who have whatever challenges, and that is it gives them the opportunity to interact with others and to be able to have that stimulation and that inclusion. That's a word that's used a lot and sometimes I think is maybe overused, but in the case of these individuals, that inclusion is so meaningful and so much a part of what it means to them to be the person that they are. And I just want to say that you know, God bless the vocational services people, because they are doing God's work, and they are also providing a service not only to their workers but to society as a whole. So I cannot say enough good things about them. I first interacted with them when I went into public service as a state representative, and I have never had reason to doubt their value or their good intentions or their hard work. So 60 years is great, and you know, God willing, another 60 is in their future at the very minimum. Any other commissioners wish to comment? Commissioner Wagner.
Thank you. I'll just mention about 3 months ago, I had the opportunity to speak to the Liberty Rotary Club at VSI here in Liberty. And I don't want to have people forget that, yes, they're a charitable organization. Yes, they are working with those who may be challenged, but they deliver a great product. Mm-hmm. And if you go into that building and you look at the materials that they have, what they've printed, and all the things that they do there, I'm just going to say, for anyone who needs those printing services, some of those sorts of services, they're really good. And sometimes it's a good reminder that even though something is charitable in nature, they are just as good and they produce just as well the products that anybody else makes. So look them up, see what they do. If you can use their services, I highly recommend you do.
You're absolutely right. I've seen them where they've done assembly work, assembling packages that need to go out. I've even seen them wrapping pallets for export, for shipping. So it is not just a matter of doing a narrow field of work, but they do a very broad spectrum. And I think a business would do well to check into them and adopt them as partners in their business relationships because of their extreme reliability and quality of work. With that, unless there are any further comments, anyone from the public wish to comment? Okay. That will bring us to our next item, which is 2026-180. Mr. Administrator?
Yes, 2026-180, honoring the retirement of Dr. Jeremy Tucker, Liberty Public School Superintendent. And we have Commissioner Whittington that would do the rest regarding that.
Commissioner Withington, you are, oh, go ahead, there you are. You are recognized.
All right, so 2026-180. Whereas throughout his 12-year tenure as superintendent, Dr. Tucker has remained committed to a student-centered approach to education, helping guide a district that serves more than 12,000 students and is recognized throughout Missouri for academic excellence, innovation, and community engagement. And whereas under Dr. Tucker's leadership, Liberty Public Schools successfully completed a comprehensive facilities master planning process that resulted in the passage of a $112 million no-tax increased bond issue approved by 80% of the voters, reflecting the confidence and trust of the community in the district's vision for the future. And whereas Liberty Public Schools was accepted into the Digital Promise League of Innovative Schools during Dr. Tucker's administration, recognizing the district's commitment to innovation, learning opportunities, and preparing students for success in a rapidly changing world. And whereas Dr. Tucker's outstanding leadership and dedication to public education earned him statewide recognition as Missouri Superintendent of the Year in 2019, bringing distinction to the Liberty Public Schools and the citizens of Clay County. And whereas Dr. Tucker has worked tirelessly with educators, staff, parents, business leaders, elected officials, and community partners to strengthen educational opportunities for students and to ensure Liberty Public Schools remains a source of pride for Clay County. And whereas his leadership, integrity, and commitment to excellence have positively influenced thousands of students, families, and educators, leaving a lasting legacy that will benefit Liberty community for generations to come. And whereas it is fitting that the citizens of Clay County formally recognize and express their gratitude to Dr. Tucker for his distinguished service and lasting contributions to public education. Now therefore be it resolved that the Clay County Commission hereby congratulates and honors Dr. Tucker upon his retirement as Superintendent of Liberty Public Schools and express its deepest appreciation for his 12 years of leadership and service to the students, families, and citizens of Clay County. Be it further resolved that the Clay County Commission commends Dr. Tucker for his vision, dedication, and unwavering commitment for educational excellence and wishes him a continued success, good health, and happiness in retirement. So I've been able to get to know Dr. Tucker the last several months working for Liberty Schools, and I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him. So joining us is him and his family, and just thank you for all that you do and for your service to Clay County and Liberty.
We have several other commissioners who would like to comment. Commissioner Wagner, I believe you're next.
Thank you very much. Dr. Tucker, congratulations. I think I first worked with you in my first term in Kansas City, and I believe we were working on the Flintlock flyover, the mystical bridge that we weren't ever sure if it would ever be built, but we got it built. And through that and many other efforts and exercises, it has just been my pleasure to work with you. And I will say two things that I think are important. One is you do a wonderful job figuring out how to solve problems, and I saw that many times. Number two, you have no problem being a forceful advocate for your district and your students. And we have even witnessed that in this chamber on occasion. And I think that is one of the reasons why, or two of the reasons why, those accolades that my colleague just named are there, because you have done those things. I know, even though you're going to retire officially next Tuesday, I believe is what you mentioned to me, the reality is I'm sure you are not going to be sitting at home binge watching Netflix. And so I am quite positive that you will find some incredible things to do, and woe to those who get in your way. They don't know what's coming. But congratulations and happy retirement. Thank you.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Thanks. Yeah, well said, Commissioner and Commissioner Withington. Thanks for bringing the resolution. I think it's more than well deserved. Deserve this and all the recognition that you can get. Really grateful to you for your service. Like Commissioner Wagner has said, it's been wonderful seeing you work over these last several years, and really an honor to get to interact with you on occasion. I've said it before, but sometimes we overcomplicate. Why has Clay County, decade after decade after decade after decade, been one of the fastest growing counties in this state? Why do people keep moving here, making homes here, setting up business here? In my view, it's two things. One, we've had really good schools, and two, we've had low crime. And so people want to come where we have really good schools and low crime. So for people who go into a leadership position in one of those fields, education or public safety, in my view, they're taking on some of the most important work that can be done for this community. And so you've obviously done that. You've done it with a lot of skill and with a lot of hard work, and we appreciate you. So thank you. And to Commissioner Wagner's point, I assume more leadership yet to come from you, and I would love to encourage that. Hope to see you around. Thanks.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, thank you, excuse me, Commissioner Withington, for putting that together. And great job on one last official kiss up before he's out the door. That was smooth. But anyway, Commissioner Carpenter was spot on. We talked about people that move here. They look at crime and they look at schools. I moved here 10 years ago, shortly after you became superintendent, and those are the two things I looked at. I came from Southern California. I looked at crime, I looked at schools. We specifically wanted the Liberty North School District because of the reputation it had, and because the research. My wife was an educator, I was in law enforcement, so we knew how to do the homework on both of those issues, and we did. And so I had 3 kids. They all went through the school. They've all graduated from Liberty North High School, but certainly I'd watched you from afar when my kids were going through the system, and I guess the biggest thing I want to say is just congratulations on retirement. After, I think 30 years total in the field. That's about what I did when I retired, and I thought I had retired too. This was 10 years ago when I retired, and I thought I had retired, but I've got a couple jobs now, and I imagine you're going to have a couple jobs lined up afterwards if you don't already, but enjoy any space you have in between retirement and starting the next one. And congratulations to you, congratulations to your family. I'm sure it takes your family to support you through a position such as yours. When you're at the top, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 24/7 job. And you take things home. You're getting calls in the middle of the night. You're getting calls on weekends. You don't just get to punch a time card. And I realize that, and so I want to say thank you. Thank you for your years of service. We appreciate it.
I want to add my 2 cents worth in as well. We had talked just before the meeting started, and we both appreciate that education is an occupation, a vocation, and avocation that you don't just punch the clock and go home and forget about. And certainly, in your case, that describes you to a T. Something that occurs to me is because we both kind of started in this particular area about the same time, and been through a lot. And I know you've been through a lot, and while the accolades are there, the accolades are for things that went well. I think you need accolades also when things were a challenge, and I'm thinking of COVID. The extreme challenge that was to education, it would be to any endeavor, but education particularly had its unique challenges, and you led the school districts, and you helped work with the other school districts here in Clay County and the area to lead the whole educational movement through that very, very difficult time. And that is absolutely appreciated and highly admirable. We've worked together on issues. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. However, I can say this, you've always been someone that I could turn to and ask for advice, that I could say, how does this affect the schools? And I wouldn't get sort of the canned answer. I got sincere and honest information from you, and I always appreciate the fact that I could go to you, ask you questions, and understand what the point of view was with some clarity so that I could then take that into account. So I certainly appreciate that, and it's about, I guess, a month ago that the ceremony over at the school district building, something that that I was impressed by, not surprised, but certainly impressed, was the amount of love for you in that room. All the people that were there saying a combination of kind and absolutely true things about you. So the admiration and the respect that you have is something that is not always the case in terms of when someone retires, but in your case, it is absolutely true that you are widely and as far as I know, universally admired and respected. And whatever it is you decide to do from here on out, whether it's Netflix or whatever, you will do it with excellence. And so thank you very much. With that, unless there are any further comments, would you like to speak? I should give you an opportunity.
Thank you for the kind words and the invitation to be recognized. And as public servants, you do realize when you go in a restaurant or a grocery store or down the sidewalk, if you're with your family, it is truly about the family. So I appreciate those remarks. And so I do want to introduce them real quickly. My wife, Rebecca, and my daughter, Madison, and son, Jonas, are here. And when we talk about our service, it's about the family. And so going forward, just know that the Tucker family will be cheering on the district, the city, the county, the area, for the continued good work. And one of our board members is here this evening as well, Jen Bauer, and I appreciate her, a good friend, but also a public servant at the same time. My mom and dad were in the ministry, and so as I'm sitting and as I'm listening, it's always been a lifetime of service. And how do we serve people? How do we serve our fellow man and our fellow woman, right, in terms of humanity? And so there's a psalm, I believe it was, that speaks to establishing the work of our hands, which is what we do day in and day out in public service if we're really in it for people. And so our hope and our blessing for the commission, for the county, for the community, is may that continue to be established, the work of our hands and what we do in service to the least of these, right? To every man, woman, and child of every ethnicity and creed and background. And I think if we can keep that at the forefront, we're doing good work. So thank you for the recognition, and just know the Tuckers will be cheering you on, whether it's a ball game or not, but we'll be continuing to find new ways to serve Liberty, Clay County, and the great state of Missouri. So thank you for the recognition this evening.
Is there anyone else that would wish to speak before we present the resolution? Seeing none, Commissioner Withington, if you'd like to present the resolution, we will join you in front of the dais. We have one final, there we are. We have one final ceremonial matter. That would be 2026-185. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026-185, Proclamation America 250 Citizen Challenge Coin. Presentation for Cherry Holtman with Commissioner Wagner.
Commissioner Wagner? Oh, excuse me. There you go.
Thank you. I needed to right a great wrong. Last week, Ms. Holtman was here to receive her coin, and I completely forgot all about it. And I am strong enough to realize when I've done something wrong, but I equally want to remedy that. And I think in the remedy, we make all the focus on her as opposed to splitting it up last week. That's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. But as we have done over the last several weeks, we've had an opportunity to recognize those who have gone through our Citizen Challenge done by a group of volunteers under the Clay County 250 banner to help support and recognize our 250th anniversary, which amazingly is coming up next week. Holy cow. And so with that, we have encouraged, invited folks from all over the county to participate in a number of activities that are laid out here within the proclamation that's here. Just to cover a couple of items, citizens and volunteers in Clay County have created a citizen challenge to celebrate the practice of good citizenship with support from Missouri Humanities. And whereas the Citizen Challenge requires participants to perform a variety of tasks that can include reading the Declaration of Independence, reading the U.S. Constitution. Actually, we heard the Declaration of Independence tonight, so anyone watching, you got a point just on that one alone. Voting in an election, attending a public meeting, meeting a public official, performing community service, and other pertinent activities. And whereas Sherry Holtman has performed enough of these activities to show that she has accepted and performed the Citizen Challenge, and whereas Sherry Holtman has earned a Clay County 250 Citizen Challenge coin as a remembrance of her commitment to good citizenship, now therefore be it resolved that the Clay County Commission celebrates this achievement by Sherry Holtman and thanks her for accepting the Citizen Challenge. I think based on where the number of coins we've given, we are somewhere around the 181, 182 amount. So we're getting closer to that 250, and I'm glad Ms. Holtman is here tonight to be a part of it. Just a reminder for those who want to participate, we're going all the way to the November election. Just go on claycounty250.org. And again, Ms. Holtman, my apologies for last week, but I hope by putting you fully in the spotlight this week, I make up for that. But thank you for participating in this. It just goes to show, as we've talked about here, and engaged citizenry is what keeps this democracy going, and you have proved that again for us tonight. So thank you very much.
Here. Also, we talked a little bit, we talked on the elevator on the way up, and I'd mentioned that certainly you have the opportunity to speak and explain a little bit about what this experience meant to you and all that. And if you happen to take a moment to chastise the commissioner, then so be it.
Real good last week.
So please come forward and give us your impressions of the program and how you think it was of value. If you could come up to the microphone, please.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the commission instituting this challenge. It wasn't much of a challenge. I really love history. I always have. And I think it's a very unique way to celebrate the country's 250th birthday, but also Clay County's 204th. I'm very big on Clay County history. I've lived here all my life, went through all the school systems, Liberty High School, William Jewell. So I really would encourage anyone that hasn't done the challenge yet to do that. I have to say I did have an ulterior motive, was to motivate my granddaughter who's 14. And I thought, we'll do this together. Well, half of us did. But I'm still encouraging her to do it because I think I've forgotten how many little projects you had to do, but I did more than that because it was very easy, and one thing leads to another. If you're going to read this document, then you want to read this document. And I didn't put down, but even the Articles of Confederation are interesting. Outdated, but interesting. But I do appreciate the commission's doing this.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the commission? In that case, Commissioner Wagner, if you'd like to take us on down and get it done.
Fist bump, Jason, fist bump. Come on.
Well, I'm sorry to say we've run out of the really fun part of our agenda this evening. Now we're going to have to actually do some regular work. That does conclude ceremonial matters, and congratulations to all that were honored. That brings us to public comments. Are there any members of the public who would like to address the commission? Please come forward. By the way, anyone else who would wish to address the commission, come forward to the microphone. Make sure the green light is on, state your name, and then address the commission. Thank you.
Howdy, Commission. My name is Philip Sudarth. I own 4549 North Oakley Avenue in Kansas City, Clay County. Over the last 30 years, I have discovered that my home is a graveyard. There's literal marking stones in my backyard all the way down the street. But the problem with that is, in between the end of the property and my property, there's about 8 or 7 houses. In 1914, Mr. Frank Wynn illegally platted riverfront property that was actually maritime. So with that being said, my whole subdivision is not appropriate. There's literal graves in my backyard, and I wake up every night at 4 a.m. on the dot, guys. I'm tired of it. We need to acknowledge these people. They built the community in the Northland. Every brick building you see, the bricks were made right by my house, if not at my house, or Samstown. We need to fix some things because this country is literally the land of the free. These people should not be forgotten, in my opinion. They built my home, they built the Antioch Church, they built a lot of places, guys, the Garrison Building, William Jewell. Every brick building you see, I got them at my house. The ones that paved the street, they're at my house, and I'm nowhere near here, you know what I mean? With doing that, I've also, got a lot of information here that I've, developed over 30 years. I believe my home's even connected to the Underground Railroad. There's little structures in the woods that have the symbol right on it, down on the right corner. It's a pyramid. Why this isn't being acknowledged, I've literally got a hold of everybody, and nobody has talked to me, nobody's got a hold of me. We need to, that wall, bless them people's hearts, but to change, we have to progress. And you're looking at it. So if I could maybe turn this in, I'd be very happy to.
Yes, go ahead, and Mr. Administrator, if you could make copies, and I assume they're your originals, so you would want them.
No, I got copies, go ahead.
Okay, so those are copies for us to keep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you could make sure that the commission had access to those, Mr. Administrator, that would be helpful. And then we can discuss if there is, what further actions would be warranted.
Yeah, the only thing I'm requesting at 4549 is an archaeological search, because I can show you where they're all at. Like if I took stakes and marked them out, it's obvious. Why this place got developed over? Money. Why these people were forgotten? I don't know. But their physical remnants still stand today. I live in them. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Good. Are there any other citizens wishing to comment? Commissioner Withington, this is public comments. Do you have something related to public comments of citizens? Okay, you are recognized.
Damon, did he say it was in Kansas City? So he needs to call Kansas City. Yeah. All right. I couldn't understand what he was saying. So it was. Did he say it was by the Samstown, the old Samstown?
Yeah,
Casino?
he's by North Oakley, which is, further north on the northwest side. So.
All right. Thank you.
I know, I don't want to get into discussion or anything like that, but if you could, once you have examined those materials, present the commission not just with the materials, but any insights that you would like to express to us. Any other members of the public wishing to come forward? Seeing none. That brings us to our consent agenda. Mr. Administrator.
Good evening. We have 5 items on our consent agenda tonight. The first one is our commission meeting minutes from March 26th through April 9th, as well as April 16th. Our next one is our 2026-178 is approval of invoice payments. for Clay County for the period of June 13th through June 19th. Had a total of 373 invoices totaling $2,606,667.38. Next one is 2026-177, approval of school resource deputy program agreement between Clay County, Missouri and Clay County Sheriff's Office and North Kansas City School District for 2026-2027. The next one is 2026-182, approval of renewal of software agreement with asset and work management software for planning and zoning permitting software as well with CityWorks for Information Technology Department. Next one is 2026-183, approval of Double Check Company, LLC, and Midstate Petroleum Equipment for petroleum parts, sales, and services and installation. That's countywide. That's a countywide agreement, and that'll be it for our consent agenda.
Very well. Commissioner Johnson, you are recognized.
Move to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Motion's been made for the approval of this evening's consent agenda. Is there any discussion or comment? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. That brings us to this evening's regular agenda. There are 3 items on that agenda, the first being 2026-179. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026-179, approval of invoice payments for Clay County Prosecutor's Office for the period of June 13th through June 19th, a total of 6 invoices totaling $7,526.40.
Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve 2026-179.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2026-179. Is there any discussion or comment? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
I recuse myself.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Motion passes 5 in favor, 1 recusal.
Thank you. Next item is 2026-184. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026-184 is approval of cooperative agreement between Clay County and Metropolitan Community College, Maple Woods, to support development and implementation of Missouri Humanities Grant Project, Parks and Rec Grant Coordinator. But before I get started on that one, I want to kind of get some introduction to that. So back a few months ago, probably almost 6 months ago now, I reached out to Dr. Beatty, who's over at MCC. She's also a Clay County resident, by the way. And so we both talked. We talked about the assets we have here in Clay County and the relationship we're trying to build, especially with having a higher education within our county, along with William Jewell. And so she got us together with her staff here. And we have 2 of the representatives here in the front row. And from there, one of the things we talked about was looking at our agricultural programs, other opportunities, including our staff, maybe go to their school, things of that sort. And so from there, we had a tour that was given on President's Day, wasn't it February 19th? On President's Day, Cynthia, as well as John Davis, and Megan gave them a tour of our assets. So they went to all the Smithville Lake, to Ferris Farm, other items, just to show them what we have. So a lot of their staff was able to come too. And from there, this is one of the first items we'll be doing as a partnership that support a grant opportunity and allow them to work with us. So I'll let Cynthia kind of take it from there if there's anything else, and I'll also let them go from there. But just want to kind of talk, one of the things you talked to us about was building relationships and rapport within the county, and this is one of those steps.
Connor, Grant Coordinator. As Damon mentioned, this has been a collaborative effort since February. Just working with the individuals at Maple Woods to incorporate what they're calling the Turning Point, Clay County history, books that have been written, local authors, that they'll be incorporating into their curriculum. I think there's about 20 classes. It'll hit about 450 students. It'll be open to the community with suggested reading, and I think they can speak more to that, but right now we're just working together on a grant application with Missouri Humanities that would help support this.
I believe, Commissioner Johnson, you were seeking recognition.
Move to approve 2026-184.
Motion has been made for the approval of 2026-184. we'll move into further discussion. Are there any questions of staff on this before we move to our guests? Yes, if you'd like to come, if anyone else would like to come forward and speak, we'd certainly be happy to hear from you.
John's in the queue, too.
All right. Good evening, Commissioner Nolte and the rest of the commission. We thank you for having us here this evening. My name is Terrell Tigner. I'm the Vice President at the MCC Maple Woods campus, and I'll have her introduce herself as well, but I have with me Dr. Rebecca Studeville. She's our Dean of Instruction at the Maple Woods campus. It's no secret that we have a great relationship with Clay County at MCC and MCC Maple Woods, and we just want to be able to continue, that relationship and strengthen those relationships. This particular cooperative agreement is one that really fits our mission as well of serving the communities and preparing our students and creating opportunities. It really brings it all together, and I really have to take my hat off to the work that Dr. Studeville has done along with Cynthia. Cynthia, I want to thank especially because we have a special connection as well. It had been a while, but when we ran into each other, she was like, oh yeah, you were my advisor when I was there at Maple Woods. And I was like, oh yes, I remember now. And you get that a lot here in the Northland, right? Because we have a lot of students and we serve an array of students. It can be anywhere from Dr. Tucker was here. It could be the early college students at our graduation that's graduating at a very young age, all the way to our non-traditional students. And so again, this particular cooperative agreement really fits that well, and we're very excited for you all to be a part of it. I'll let Becky speak now for a little bit.
Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. I am Becky Studeville. As Terrell mentioned, I'm the Dean of Instruction at Maple Woods. This is an exciting academic collaborative project that we're working on. As Cynthia mentioned, our students will be reading books by authors about Clay County and Missouri and Kansas. They'll be listening to speakers and authors that have been, curated for this experience. Very much with the help of Beth Beckett and Cynthia Connor. They've worked with us shoulder to shoulder throughout this process with our faculty to identify these speakers' books and the site visits, because we'll have field trips as well. We plan to look at Clay County and Missouri and really focus different months on different topics. So we're gonna look at African American history. We're gonna look at the border wars. We're going to focus on women's history in Clay County, outlaw folklore in Clay County, and then indigenous peoples and agricultural heritage. So that's really going to be some of our programming that's going to take place in spring 2027. A lot of it is focused in our classroom, but some of it's also open to the community so that this can be a broader experience. Again, I just want to say this is really a very deep partnership. Cynthia has worked with us to actually write the grant, so it's line by line working with us. So we're very grateful for all the support that the county has already provided in this project, and we're really looking forward to celebrating the history of Clay County in spring 2027 with the community and with our students.
Commissioner Carpenter, you wish to speak?
Oh, yeah, no, I just want to say I think this sounds really wonderful. I wanted to thank our Maple Woods guests for being here today, and also thanks to Cynthia again. Cynthia has been doing amazing work for the county, and I'm glad to hear that she's been a great partner bringing this to fruition with y'all. So yeah, just really excited about it. Look forward to seeing where it goes, and also please give my thanks to Dr. Crow. She's been a wonderful leader of the institution. I've been really impressed every time I've gotten to talk with her, so please give her our thanks as well. Thank you.
This is really what a large part of county government should be about, and that is establishing these kinds of partnerships and cooperative agreements and the ability to work together for the greater good of our community. I think I can express with some confidence that neither of you were my counselor when I was in. I would, if you did, you have kept yourselves in wonderful, wonderful shape. But seriously, I'm happy to see this happening. I try to take every opportunity possible to go back on the Maple Woods campus. It's somewhere where I spent a lot of time as a young man, and it's always held a close place in my heart. So this is just another reason why this is a great kind of cooperation, is the strengthening of long-standing relationships. So thank you very much for what you do, and for what you do to give people access to education. In some cases, It's not necessarily a four-year experience that is in their futures. I've always been an advocate of community colleges because they fill that space that is so necessary to create full lives for our citizens. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Commissioner, I believe you have a motion on the table. You are recognized to close.
Close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. This brings us to the last item on our regular agenda, 2026 Ordinance 11. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026 Ordinance 11, approval of amendment to Ordinance 2025-27, Section 38.06, Senior Real Estate Tax Credit Administrative Services. This one here came from this past Tuesday. We had a work session that included Ascend Technology, which is our technology provider. They've been with us almost 20 years, and some of the questions that we had that you guys have been having for a while on ultimately for SB 190, which we all want to quote unquote make sure it does not go like last year. And so some of the questions that came about during that work session were, one of the main things was about debt service, which is an item that we added this past end of December into January when it was signed. And Commissioner Johnson asked, did you go back to 2024? And so I could tell it was a deer in the headlights moment for the software person, but I wanted to make sure that clarification was in writing regarding that. So I want you to understand what we did and what we're doing. And I thought this clarification on the actual ordinance would help us move forward. So one of the key things we want to do is stay on track. During that time frame, they talked about our testing and getting prepared to start testing through July, then August, with our idea of being everything put together by October so that we can do things like we did before. So I'll let Deetta Jacobs do a PowerPoint regarding what this change is and why we're going through this.
Commissioner Withington, I see you're seeking recognition. Is this a point you need to ask now, or would you like to wait till after the presentation? I'm sorry, say again, please.
I always did it first and wait for him to be done, so I'm waiting for him to be done. It's okay.
You'll wait till she's done.
That's what I just said, Jerry.
Okay, thank you. I didn't quite understand you. Please go right ahead then.
Deetta Jacobs, Administrative Services Officer. Some of what's in this presentation is for the folks at home so that there's an understanding of what the change would mean to the ordinance. And just to read that out loud, the main change to the ordinance that existed, 2025 Ordinance 27, we are adding the statement, the Clay County Senior Property Tax Credit shall apply to bonded debt obligations and individuals enrolled in the Senior Real Estate Tax Relief Program as of March 31st, 2025, shall be eligible to receive the lesser debt levy tax liability at 2024, 2025, or 2026 for the 2026 tax year. That sounds really confusing, so we've got some clarification for you. In the ordinance, base year is the year prior to becoming an eligible taxpayer. We use that quite often when we start talking about this, but we also use 2024 because that was the very first year that could be a base year in this program. So it was important that when we started talking about taking it back to 24, that we really understood what we believed your intent was, which was to actually give people the lower tax liability. That's not necessarily 2024. And I have an example for you. So we thought our belief of your intent to go to the lowest taxing liability to make the verbiage in the ordinance meet that goal instead of just saying 2024. Because when we were dealing with our vendor, we told him we needed to go back to the lowest tax liability. We didn't say 2024, we wanted the lowest one. So as we continue to move forward and we move to 2030, we need to make sure that we continue to talk about the lowest tax liability tax year and try and not refer to the person's base year where they actually signed in So definition and understanding of those words is what's getting us a little challenged in the communication area. So we've been working with them, as I said, to make sure that we are identifying the lowest tax year. And you'll see that it's really hard to see in this, but if this is an actual tax bill, and the one that is highlighted is the fire district with Smithville, and you'll see in 2024 that debt levy was $42.58. In 25 it was $57.79, and we did some dummy calculations for 26 and 27 because obviously we don't have those levies yet. But the ones for 24 and 25 are actual levies. In that case, we would go back to what was reported in 24 and catch that debt levy. However, if we go down to the school debt levy, in 2024, that school debt levy was $685.02. And in 2025, that debt levy was $604.07. So situations like this is why we didn't want to go to, say, just 2024. We wanted to pick up what the lowest tax liability is back to 24. So that's why it says 24, 25, and even 26 could be lower. This will be the first year we're including that debt levy. So that's why we have to have the 3 years for the individuals who are enrolled in this program in 2025. So that in 26, we can bring everybody up to the absolute lowest tax liability for their tax bill in 26. When we move to 27, all we'll have to do is go back to the amount charged because that will be the lowest tax liability from 24, 25, and 26. We won't have that problem in the future because you will be at the lowest. The commission changed the way that we were taxing folks, so we needed to include the 24, 25, and 26. Let me rephrase that. Commission did not change the way we're taxing people. The commission allowed us to include the debt in this program, which changed the way that the tax bill would be created. So I apologize for that. So it's where we get a little into the technical, I don't want to say legal because I'm not a lawyer, but trying to accommodate everybody and what we believed what the intent was and not paint us into a corner where we said 2024 and it was actually a higher amount. That was the explanation for this slide. Any questions?
Commissioner Withington, I believe you were seeking recognition.
Damon, you said that the vendor, I wasn't here on Tuesday, but you said the vendor had a deer in headlight look.
Yeah, because he asked about debt.
Did we not talk?
Yes, we did talk to them about 2024.
Like before
Yes,
Tuesday?
Before Tuesday.
So where was the
Well,
problem?
because he was looking at, he was a software guy, so he was looking at between the two, the year that was the lowest. So from his standpoint, when they were doing the software, 25 and 24 were both what he was looking at. So it wasn't just only 2024. So that was the part about when Commissioner Johnson asked, did you go back to the base year for all of them, just 2024? And that was not the case.
Excuse me, gentlemen, if you could speak just a little bit more into your microphone. Some of us are having some difficulty, so please, more into the mic and enunciate.
Why are you looking at me?
Hey. No, I raised the question to the commissioner, so I get part of the blame on that.
I did look at you. But going back to that part, when Commissioner Johnson asked, he said, did you go back to the base year of 2024? And what I did afterwards is I'm like, everybody, let's meet. Because he was like, well, I'm not really. Well, what they're doing is they went back to what is the lowest for that debt. And so 24 and 25, they were looking at both of them. So he couldn't just say, I went back to only 24. Because they went at whichever one was the lowest. So it wasn't that we had not talked to him about 2024. That was already set. In fact, that's set when you start doing everything in 25. You had to go back to 24. But when we added the debt, which that was in a December ordinance that took place in January of 2026, we looked at both 25 and 24 to figure out what should be the lowest one for you when you go forward. So
how confident are we that they're going to not have the same problems this year?
Pretty confident. I mean, for the most part, where we're at now is a way more than where we were back in October and November before. This group that's why we want to start doing the testing now in July. Give us what we could test. We actually worked with Tracy and them to give us some numbers to test up front because we don't get your official numbers until October, but you want to test with the numbers you have to make sure we're all matching up. So that includes ourselves, meaning the collector's office, their software, and then we have Victor and them to look at that as well. So all three of us looking at all the same thing. Now, we've been through it 1 year, so this allows us to kind of look at what it is to manually to follow what they're doing with software-wise.
So we're confident, staff's confident that bills will be sent out and delivered on time this year?
Well, that's what we're working towards. I can't give you 100%, but I'm
not
definitely
asking for
working towards that.
100%, but,
yeah, we're working towards that.
But this time last year was when we had staff recognize that there was an issue. We didn't know about the issue until months later. And, you know, I want to make sure that we're not embarrassed again this year. I mean, that's 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
And this,
And we're also doing-
this shouldn't happen 2 years in a row.
Yeah, we're also doing belts and suspenders. We're also trying to figure out a way, in case the software does not work, we're trying to do it on our own as well. So working parallel on things as we did before.
Well, so I'm doing the math here. So July, August, September, October. We got 4 months. So what I want to know something pretty quick that staff's going to tell us 100%, like by next month, that this thing's going to be.
Well, you want to be able to have that by next month.
Well, we need to know,
Yeah.
but Damon, this stuff has to be out in the mail by the end of November, Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
So we need, like, I think everybody up here wants to know that staff is not going to let this fall apart like they did last year.
Understand.
I mean, it was really embarrassing last year, right? And I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot, but like, I think
I started
everybody
here last year at this same time frame, literally this week.
Oh, I know.
Last year. So when you say that it was,
Well, but that, you know, that's
so last year at this time, I did not know this.
No, none of us.
So I just want to make
yeah.
sure that's understood.
No, I
So
know you
when
didn't,
you say
'cause
that
none of
last year
us-
at this time,
Yeah.
everyone knew this. I did not know this
No, I
last year
know,
at this
and
time.
like,
So-
that's why when I asked for that update last year, right? We got that, you know, this was before you came.
Okay.
Diana was still here. I said, hey, you know, we need to see a timeline on when and, you know, staff had told us, oh, well, the problem started in May and June. And we didn't find out until November.
Gotcha.
So that's
You
why
found out
I'm
about this-
saying, like,
Yeah.
you know, we're the public face. We're the ones that the citizens are going to come to. We're the ones that are going to get the phone calls. I just want to make sure this isn't the same embarrassment's not going to happen 2 years in a row.
I think what we just did this Tuesday shows you our intent is the same. I mean, when I said we got weekly calls with them, working with them day and night on it, our intent is the same thing. We don't want to be embarrassed as well. Staff-wise, I live here. I don't want to be embarrassed regarding this. But regardless, professionalism is where we want to be at. Yeah. And we got 2 parallels going, actually 3 when you include us looking at new software. And we're doing those in 2 weeks. We have presentation of those as well. So it's several things that's happening that we're trying to do to make sure. So your desire is our desire right now. We're trying to do the best we can regarding what we got. Yeah. But that was another reason why to bring this up, to make sure that legislation matched what we're trying to do. Because if you look at what you had before, like this was from 2024, Ordinance 27, and that same one that you're referring to, it said, this ordinance does not allow for refunds, retroactive credits based on property taxes already paid or due effective. Is that the same one I'm talking about? Or is it the next page?
The first page.
Yeah. 1 or more years of delinquent taxes occurred, a tax year liability prior years. So we're making sure the clarification is there regarding that as well. So number 3 is changed to allow us to make sure we try to give the best opportunity for you to take advantage of that tax credit.
Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate all your guys' work on this. Thanks, David.
Very well. Commissioner Wagner, you are next.
Thank you. So I'll start off by saying I appreciate this change, looking forward to voting on it. It's consistent with what we've talked about, and I appreciate the methodology and the demonstration as to why those, looking at all those years are important. I also appreciate having the software company join us on Tuesday. And it's always funny, and hopefully my colleague doesn't take it the wrong way, but sometimes the tech people and the people who are the face of things have very different reactions to things that are told. I don't think I'm going too far out on a limb. Having said all of that, I expected actually another change in this ordinance based on our conversation on Tuesday, primarily under section B2B, because that, frankly, was the lion's share of our discussion on Tuesday. And so, and we've offered a few suggestions, a few options related to that. I was talking to the county councilor a little bit earlier before this to express my surprise at not seeing something. And so, which is fine, because there's still time to figure things out, but I guess I'm looking for some idea of where we are for a solution with that, and where we might, or when we might see that solution come
Let me
forward.
add context there, because Commissioner
Right, we've got a couple who weren't there, yeah.
Yeah, said he wasn't here the other day, nor was a few others. So one of the things that came up the other day was a list of eligible properties that if you either did more than 100 foot or $10,000 worth of new construction on the assessment, that could be additional amount regarding your SB 190 for your credit. And so that ended up kind of spurring some more discussion, because one, we didn't know just how many, and the list we currently have, which is preliminary list, had like 1,800. Well, we started to look at that list, and I think Dieta has the numbers, and one of the things we walked away with was how do we keep the software group on the same timeline they're currently on to do the testing regarding that. And to keep them on the same timeline was, what would it look like if we did it on our own, as far as manually for those different, because we know all 1,800 were not part of SB 190. The other portion was looking at some steps we need to have answered by the counselor before we got to that point. And what I was looking at was, what would it take for us to stay on the same trajectory, thinking about what Commissioner Withington said, that we want to try to get everything done, do the testing before we get there. This factor here is probably more of an issue that we got to make sure we vet out to see where it's at. But what were the numbers that you had on this one?
So the assessor's office went back through those numbers, and some of the new construction numbers were of actual new buildings that would not qualify. There are 156 SB 190 parcels on that list. Only 15 exceed $10,000.
Okay.
So we can manually figure the 15 and add that portion of the new construction back to the base year and not impact the timeline for the software company.
Okay.
In addition, I reached out some of the other counties to find out what they had done, and only 5 responded to me in the time frame that we had. 2 did create a new base year anytime there was new construction, regardless of how many years down the road. 2 added the new construction to the base year, similar to ours, but they did not have a $10,000 and over stipulation. And then 1 added it, took the portion that was new construction, and they carried it along, and it continued to grow because they considered it growth. They did not consider it part of the original SB 190. So while SB 190 was capped, that small portion continued to grow with the assessment of their home. So again, another example of how counties are doing it differently across the state. So that's what we were able to gain in just the last couple of days. But in talking to Barbara, we'd gone out on the limb, said 50, but I think 15 we can handle.
Well, that's great news, because I think that was the issue that was
concern.
kind of shocking to all of us who were there was, oh my gosh, if we have a huge number, then this kind of blows a hole in the idea of being able to do things timely. But I think to your credit and to Barbara's credit, that ability to understand, because I think we were throwing a range of 9 to 1,700, as I recall. And I was pretty sure you didn't want to do 1,700 manually.
No, sir.
But 15 does seem like a more manageable amount, and so perhaps the answer is just simply no changes needed because of that. But since that was a big issue for our discussion Tuesday, I just wanted to not skip over it and just kind of understand. I could have sworn we talked about this, so I appreciate the answer, and it sounds like perhaps the solution is no new solution, which is fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we're still looking at, though, because from that meeting came a couple other questions you all had. You had, like, do you have to stick with 10,000? Where do those numbers come from? Things like that. So it had to be a few more things we have to look at research-wise that would be able to make a more informed decision regarding that.
Sure. Well, as I recall from our discussion, the state law was very clear that you had to deal with this issue in some manner, but it was pretty silent on what those numbers had to be and how you necessarily dealt with it. So whether it was just simply raise the number from 10,000 to something else, I mean, that's still, I mean, I guess if we want to get to zero, there is a way of potentially getting to that. But again, you know, a number like 15, if that stays that way, is much more manageable and keeps us on the time frame that we want to be on. So look forward to whatever else you discover, but I feel a little bit better based on that answer. So thank you, Deanna, very much, and Barbara as well.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you for cleaning this up. I think this really captures the legislative intent of what we wanted to do here. And I've said this before, having worked on what I call the working side of government over there. Oftentimes people up here will make decisions and you guys got to figure out how to clean it up and how to make it happen and how to make us look like we're intelligent. And this does that. This fixes some things for us and I appreciate that. For those who are listening who don't know, so last Tuesday, the 23rd, 2 days ago, we actually had our staff brought in the software company who we were pretty upset with because of the issues that we had with our billing this last year, because of the senior property tax issues. And myself and Commissioner Carpenter, Commissioner Wagner, and Commissioner Lawson were at that meeting and got to speak with those representatives from the software company. So I appreciate them coming in and having a face-to-face with them, and we talked through some of these issues. This helps clean that up. I will also mention that I believe the 23rd, that same day that we had that meeting, that was actually the actual one-year anniversary of our county administrator. Is that right? The 23rd? Yeah. So the 23rd was actually 1 year. So congratulations and happy anniversary.
We having fun.
To you. And I remember that because your anniversary is one day after my birthday. And I'll tell you that 61 is the new 30. So just so you know. But congratulations on your 1 year anniversary. And thank you for cleaning this up. I think this is much better. And thank you to our counselor who I think did some of the legal crafting of this because I think this is good. This is good. But my question is, have you heard yet back from the software company whether or not what you're doing here, that they're going to be able to calculate that in their software?
They told us before they left, because they were looking for that written direction, just so we're still all on the same page, that they would still be able to get us what we need to start testing in July.
Okay, good. So this won't change. Okay, good. Because I was worried that I think there's some miscommunication with them last time or on Tuesday that they weren't sure if they would be able to do that, but apparently you've talked with them after and that's not
Yeah,
gonna be a problem.
we spoke with them on Wednesday, and they believe that this portion would be okay. It was the $10,000 and having to establish that different table that they were the most concerned about. Not that they couldn't do it, but it would knock us out of the time frame, and that was not acceptable.
And
so that's why we were looking for
I'm
alternatives.
going to have a workaround for that too. So, okay, perfect. That answers my questions. I appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lawson.
I can tell you that I was really upset yesterday or Tuesday, and I felt like they were floundering a little bit. I didn't feel like they were real secure in the whole process, and that there were things missing that like they didn't even know about. It's the feeling I got from them. So I think that all this pulling it together and you feeling real comfortable that they're going to be able to do that just does help a whole lot. One thing I want to know is, we talked about the fact that they were going to do a practice run and let us know. I thought they were going to do that this week. When are they going to physically do that run so we know 100% that everything balances?
No, it was still the July. What you're probably thinking about, what they were talking about this week was the question that Commissioner Johnson, get it back to us to make sure they can stay on that schedule. And so once we got through them, talked to them and make sure they understood the time, not even the base years, but the years they're using, they're able to stay on that same schedule, provide us information in July to go forward.
What day?
What date in July?
What date are they going to run it?
Well, they just was going back and bring it back to us. I don't have a date of when they're going to do it, but they're going to provide us in July.
But that will be done in July for positive.
That's what they've told us.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
That's what they told.
They have told us July.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to hold their feet to the fire on that. I mean, really bad. Because if we wait, like we did last year, and we get into August, and it's towards the end of August, we're going to have the same mess we had this time, and I think we can't let that happen.
Absolutely. And as the administrator mentioned, what term did you use? Belts and suspenders?
Yeah.
As we have already had conversation not only with them, but another software company or another tech company that can take what we did manually last year, automate it to a certain extent with AI, and put that into place to take some of the human error out of it, because we don't want that again. And so we've got a parallel system that we're also researching so that we aren't waiting until August or September or October. No, we're putting both of them in place. It's a little bit of a strain on staff, but we'd rather do that than end up anywhere we don't want to be.
Great.
So-
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Wagner.
Thank you, and I should have mentioned this in my last comments, but to Commissioner Lawson's point, I could have sworn I heard them say Tuesday that they will start testing after the 4th of July. That's what I thought I heard.
After the 4th of July?
That's
Yeah,
what I
in
thought.
July.
Yeah. And then this may be an assumed request, but I'll just make it straightforward anyway. Can we be notified either through your comments or if it's appropriate in some other section to be notified when their results are done? And I only say that because, as everyone knows, we have quite a following online, and I am sure many of them are very curious as to what's happening around this.
Sure.
And I just think it instills some confidence that if we can publicly say at these steps, when they're completed, that they have been completed.
And that it will be. I mean, it's the same. Commissioner Withington asked me a while ago to give a monthly update.
Right. Well,
today would have been my monthly update,
Right.
but because we're discussing it, so
no, that's
we'll
fine.
keep the update.
But I think I would suggest that I don't know that I want to wait for the next monthly update on something like that, which can be something as simple as, hey, the testing was done, we are on schedule, end of story.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, let me explain what the testing is going to be. So
Yeah.
they'll give us programs to test.
Yes.
We'll test those, and if we find any issues with those, we'll go back.
Sure.
So what we'll do is let you know, hey, we got these programs, we're going to test it. And what
Yeah.
they're trying to do is give it to us all at once.
Sure.
And they put everything together. So I have no problem with doing that. I just want to make sure we understand that
Oh,
I'll still
yeah.
do the monthly updates and do the testing as well.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just think that this is such a sensitive thing that any new information, when it can be told, doesn't necessarily need to wait, is really my point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Wagner is right, and that is, obviously, we want to be kept up to date on a regular basis, but also as warranted, as the situation changes. And quite honestly, it's not so much that we be caught and be embarrassed, or that we be anything else. I think we need to keep clear focus that we are here to extend this service to our citizens, and we need to make sure that that is our first thought, is how do we, in the quickest, easiest for them and most efficient way, administer this program to those citizens that we are trying to serve. And that's really the focus of this. And I appreciate the fact that staff has been putting in more than a few extra hours, I have no doubt. And so if we could keep that dialogue going between commission and staff, that has been going, and perhaps even not wrap it up a notch, that would be appreciated, because we all want to make sure that we are able to be informed and support this program going forward. So are there, excuse me, Commissioner Johnson, you were wanting to comment.
Move to approve 2026 Ordinance 11.
Let me get back to my agenda. Motion has been made for the approval of 2026 Ordinance 11. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington? Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. That concludes our regular agenda. That brings us to County Administrator comments. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, good evening. A couple of comments. One is our next business session will be July 9th. Due to the five meetings we have with the holiday, July 2nd is the one that we're not going to have. Okay. Since between that time frame, we'll have two of our events with the Go North campaign. One will be June 27th with Zona Rosa, and their event is from 5 to 11 p.m. They're going to feature in Algeria versus Australia. And the other one is July 3rd with Morton Amphitheater over in Riverside, and their event is from 3:30 to 11 p.m. And that'd be it for me.
Thank you very much. That brings us to Commissioner comments. Commissioner Withington, we'll start on your side of the dais. Do you have anything you'd like to make comment on? Oh, excuse me. There you are.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Damon, congratulations on your one-year anniversary. Probably one of the best things this commission's done is hire you, so thank you. And then I was going to wish Grandpa a happy birthday. I sent him I sent him a text the other day telling him happy birthday. I think you're, the oldest one up here, Jay? You're the oldest one up here? You can't hear?
Hey.
So,
Close to it.
yeah, so happy birthday, Jay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lawson.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Jay. You aren't the oldest one up here, but. Couple of things. I don't know if y'all remember, sometime back, we did a resolution for Coach Benucci, and I just wanted to say he passed away on June 21st. You know, he was such a force, and I said this the night that we gave him the resolution. I showed horses with some guys that he coached when they were kids, you know, just high school kids. They would say things, you know, about like whether or not they were going to be able to win this class and, you know, kind of a rah-rah thing. They'd say, well, Coach always used to say, and then they would say something about his quote. And people, so many people in Excelsior especially, the guy was just so well thought of because he was not just a coach, he was definitely a guiding factor in all of their lives. He was what you hope a coach would be. So just wanted to say, so sorry, God bless his family and all the best to all of them, but he will be missed, but he had a great life and he influenced some really wonderful people.
Commissioner Wagner.
Yes, thank you. First of all, happy birthday, Jay. I'm really looking forward to that 61 because I'm feeling every bit of my age in my 50s. So I look forward to turning that clock back at some point in the future, and you better not be lying to me or else I'm going to find you. Also, I think when we hired Damon, I gave both congratulations and condolences. You still got them, but I am very pleased with what you've been able to do for us in this past year. Although I know an evaluation is coming up at some point, so I'll just save the rest for that time. But in all seriousness, thank you for everything that you've done. I also wanted to wish everyone a happy Independence Day, semi-quincentennial. I believe we are also hosting an event at Smithville Lake. So for those who missed the Go North KC events, go see some fireworks going off at Smithville Lake or something of that kind of nature.
Yeah, July 4th.
July 4th. On that note, we celebrated the work from Ms. Holtman earlier today, but I brought extra coins for a couple of reasons. One is our colleague, Commissioner Withington, has fulfilled his obligations, and as I recall, all he required was a flip. So step back.
Oh.
There you go. Thank you very much for participating, but he is not the only one I owe to, because earlier on Monday, I was at Liberty City Hall, and they had a mess of people who earned their coins. There were 14 who did. Unfortunately, I only brought 10. And so...
yeah, guess who didn't get one?
And we're going to solve that tonight. So congratulations to you, Mr. County Councilor. I believe I still owe the mayor and Councilman Hagan theirs as well. But I just wanted to point out their performance. And I should also give a special thanks to Councilman Harold Phillips, who has been such a great advocate on the Liberty City Council. But Kevin, thank you for your participation in that as well. And again, have a safe and happy holiday. Thank you very much.
I admire your athleticism. You did quite the flip there.
For weeks, just for this moment. It's like throwing out a first pitch. If you don't even hit the catcher, they boot you off, so I had to get this right.
Well done. Commissioner, I think I'm going to skip you so that you can address any possible indignities that may be your way. So this gives you the semi-last word. Commissioner Carpenter.
Thank you. No indignities, but happy birthday. Also, happy birthday to my wife, Midori, whose birthday comes up on the 30th. And most importantly, well, maybe not most importantly. Yeah, probably. She would be okay with that. Happy birthday to the United States of America, the big 250. That's a good one. You know, I've said before, and I've meant it every time, greatest country in the history of the world. And it is my opinion that that is just literally true, that in the history of planet Earth, no human institution has been created that's done more to promote freedom, democracy, peace and prosperity on this planet than the United States of America. I don't take any credit for it. I was just born here just like all of us, but it is true. And it is our responsibility to keep that long history going, and it's up to each of us to do our part. One of the things I'm going to do is celebrate the heck out of the country on July 4th, and would encourage everybody else to do so too, safely, as Commissioner Wagner said. But it's an amazing time to be alive, in my opinion, and this is an amazing country to be alive in. And I am incredibly grateful every single day for that. And yeah, God bless the country and all of you. Thanks.
Commissioner Thompson?
Well, I can't not wish Commissioner Johnson a happy birthday. I will say I'm a little upset that you didn't tell me. We could have had cake. Would have made you a cake. Something wonderful. So next year, I'll remember that. So happy birthday, Jay. And Damon, yes, congratulations for making it 1 year with us. I heard a little rumor today that maybe you were leaving us, which was not true, because I was going to come to his house, because I know where he lives, and have words with that man, because he knows that I will. So I'm glad that we didn't have to do that. But no, congratulations, happy birthday. And yes, please have a very safe 4th of July. So my time working at the hospital, I've seen some terrible things, and I would love for everybody to keep all their appendages and, yeah, and their eyes and all their business. So yeah, that's all I have. Be safe.
Commissioner Johnson, if you would like to address any indignities that have been heaped upon you in addition to your comments, you have the floor.
Just thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. And by the way, the reason why 61 is the new 30 is because my orthopedic surgeon told me I need a replacement shoulder, so that's what's going to make me the new 30. So, but thank you, everyone. And I really want to echo what Commissioner Carpenter said. Not only happy birthday to Midori, but also this nation, 250 years, this is a great nation. There's not one even close to being as great as this nation is. And for those who don't realize that, and I think we often all take this nation for granted. We all have our issues. We will always have issues. We're not perfect, but it's still a great nation. And I think it's important to pause the 4th of July and remember that. Remember how good we have it. We have it really good, really good. And if you don't know that, all you got to do is take a look at how other people are living in some other countries. But it is a great country. I think God has blessed this country, and I think that's one of the reasons why we are so great. But I just want to say happy 4th of July to everybody. And for those who don't know, I know the City of Liberty is putting on a 250th parade at 10 a.m. I'll be in that parade as well, from 10 to 12 on Saturday, right? Saturday, yeah. July 4th is on a Saturday, yeah. But hopefully some folks can come out to that. But I know there's a lot of things happening throughout the county on 4th of July. So hopefully you have a chance to celebrate and enjoy what a great nation we have.
I will not take this opportunity to chide my colleague for his extreme youth. Far from the oldest person on this board, I think I can fall into that category as well. Happy birthday, and certainly good luck if you become the bionic commissioner. We would certainly be wanting to hear about that. Happy birthday to your wife. Certainly a lovely lady and someone who, as I say about all of us gentlemen who are married, we are all lucky to have those ladies, and certainly above my pay grade in any case. Mr. Administrator, certainly celebrating the anniversary of your employment here, the gift of having that process to go through with the meeting and all that, all I can say is you're welcome. It's kind of going through that whole laundry list of things, but a number of commissioners have made mention about the 4th of July, and it's obviously a large anniversary date. It's one of the big ones. But I think that we need to keep in mind not only that we are a great country, which is an absolute objective fact, that we are living in the greatest nation in the history of this planet. I think that if you can be at one of these ceremonies and you hear the national anthem or you see the flag and you don't get a chill, if you don't have goosebumps, you need to re-examine how great this country is, which is one of the wonderful things about the challenge. The challenge program is that it drives home the idea. It forces, not forces, but it gives people the opportunity to examine how it is we got here and what it means to stand on the shoulders of giants. But in addition to all of that, I think we are entrusted with this legacy. And it's not enough just to appreciate and to admire and to celebrate the freedoms that we have and admire those who got us to this point. We have to make sure that we are good and true custodians of this great nation and that we pass it on to our future generations, hopefully even better than we found it, hopefully more free than we found it, hopefully a land of more opportunity and the ability to have prosperous and fulfilled lives. One of the life, liberty, and I think one of the things that I would look at is the pursuit of happiness. We have in this country the opportunity to pursue what we can pursue. We are endowed by our Creator with inalienable rights. And what that means is it's not the pursuit of money necessarily or the pursuit of creature comforts. It is the pursuit of what is fulfilling. And the people that we had here on the honorary resolutions for the courtesy resolutions, I think exemplify that. And I want to think back to the idea of the vocational services. What it means to pursue happiness is to make sure that not only are your wants and needs fulfilled and that you are able to live a fulfilling life, but to extend that freedom and to cherish that freedom for every member, everyone in this country and to a degree in this world. But certainly this country is that shining city on a hill, and we need to tend it tenderly and protect it very, very vigorously. With that, have a happy 4th of July. Do be careful, as Commissioner Thompson said. She is so right. So with that, we are adjourned.